Something alarming is happening. More and more people are being diagnosed with high blood pressure. Even people who eat well, exercise regularly, and try to live a healthy lifestyle. They watch their salt, they avoid fast food, they stay active. And yet, their blood pressure is still high. If this sounds familiar, you might feel confused, even frustrated, because you're doing everything right. So why isn't your body responding the way it should? Here's the truth, many people never hear clearly explained. High blood pressure is not controlled only by your habits. It's controlled by signals inside your body. And when those signals stay switched on for too long, your body can start working against you, even when you're living a healthy life. Later in this video, I'm going to show you one very common daily habit that keeps those signals active all day long, and most people don't realize they're doing it. But first, let's talk about something important. If you've ever sat in a doctor's office and heard the words, "Your blood pressure is high," even though you've been doing your best to stay healthy, you are not alone. I see this all the time. Patients come in and tell me the same story. They say, "I eat healthy. I walk every day. I don't smoke. I barely use salt, and yet the numbers on the blood pressure machine are still high." It can feel discouraging, almost like your body isn't cooperating. But here's the part many people need to hear. Your efforts are not failing. Your body is not broken. What's happening is that there is a deeper system inside your body controlling blood pressure, and most people have never been taught how that system works. Because most people believe one simple explanation. They think high blood pressure is mainly caused by eating too much salt. Now, salt can absolutely play a role, but salt is only part of the story. For many adults, especially after age 40, and even more after age 60, the real driver of high blood pressure is something happening deeper inside the body. It's a hormonal signal, and that signal is insulin. Now most people associate insulin with diabetes, but insulin affects much more than blood sugar. Insulin is one of the most powerful hormones controlling how your body stores energy and how your blood vessels behave. And here's where things get interesting. When insulin stays elevated for long periods of time, it sends three powerful messages inside your body that can raise blood pressure. Let me explain what those messages are. First, insulin talks to your kidneys. Your kidneys are responsible for controlling how much sodium stays in your body and how much gets removed through urine. Normally, your kidneys act like a filter. They release excess sodium and water to keep your blood pressure balanced. But when insulin levels are high, it sends a signal to the kidneys that says, "Hold on to sodium." Instead of releasing it, the kidneys start retaining it. And when sodium stays in the body, water follows. More water inside your blood vessels means more pressure pushing against the walls of those vessels. Second, insulin talks to your nervous system. Your nervous system has a branch called the sympathetic nervous system. This is the system responsible for your fight or flight response. When this system is activated, your heart beats faster and your blood vessels tighten. Normally, this system turns on when you need it, like during stress or danger. But elevated insulin can keep the system slightly activated all the time. It's like your body is constantly in a mild stress mode, even when you're resting, and that raises blood pressure. Third, insulin talks directly to your blood vessels. Imagine your blood vessels like flexible garden hoses. Healthy blood vessels expand and relax easily, allowing blood to flow smoothly. But high insulin levels send a signal that makes those vessels less able to relax. Instead of being flexible, they stay slightly tightened. And when blood vessels stay tightened, pressure rises. Now here's the surprising part. Many people with this pattern do not have diabetes. They may not even have high blood sugar. They may appear completely healthy on the outside. Normal weight, active lifestyle, healthy diet. And yet their insulin levels stay elevated throughout the day. Why? Because of something incredibly common in modern life. Frequent eating. Let me show you what I mean. Every time you eat, your body releases insulin. Breakfast triggers insulin, lunch triggers insulin, dinner triggers insulin, and snacks trigger insulin. That part is normal. Insulin rises to help move nutrients into your cells. But insulin is also supposed to fall back down after your body finishes processing that meal. Think of it like a wave. It rises, then it returns to baseline. But when eating events happen too frequently, insulin never has time to fully come back down. Instead, it stays elevated most of the day. And when insulin stays elevated, those three signals we talked about stay active. Kidneys hold on to sodium, the nervous system stays stimulated, blood vessels stay less relaxed. All of this quietly pushes blood pressure upward, and most people never realize it's happening. Let me give you an analogy that makes this easier to picture. Imagine sodium in your body like cars driving on a highway. Your kidneys are the exit ramps that allow cars to leave the highway. and insulin is the traffic signal controlling those exits. When insulin levels are normal, the exit ramps stay open. Cars leave the highway smoothly, traffic flows. But when insulin stays elevated, the traffic signal partially closes those exits. Cars start backing up, congestion builds. Even if fewer cars enter the highway, traffic can still pile up because the exits aren't working properly. That's exactly what happens with sodium when insulin is chronically elevated. Even if you reduce salt, your kidneys may still hold on to it, and blood pressure stays high. Now here's another surprising piece of the puzzle. You do not have to be overweight for this to happen. Many people assume high blood pressure caused by insulin only affects people with obesity, but that's not always true, because the type of fat that drives insulin problems is not always visible. It's called visceral fat. This is fat stored around the internal organs deep inside the abdomen. You can't always see it from the outside. Someone may look lean, but still carry visceral fat internally. And this type of fat is metabolically active. It releases signals that interfere with how the body responds to insulin. Over time, this can cause insulin levels to stay elevated, even in people who appear healthy. And that's why many people feel confused when their doctor tells them their blood pressure is high. They think, I'm not overweight. I eat well. I exercise. But metabolic health is more complex than body weight alone. Now let's talk about something incredibly important. Your body usually gives signals long before blood pressure becomes severely elevated, but many people overlook these warning signs. Here are a few signals your body may already be showing. First, rising blood pressure despite healthy habits. If you've already reduced salt, improved your diet, and stayed active, but your blood pressure still creeps up, that may be a sign your body's hormonal signals are involved. Second, energy crashes after meals. When insulin rises and falls too dramatically, people often feel tired or sluggish after eating. Third, constant hunger or frequent snacking. If you feel the need to eat every few hours just to maintain energy, insulin may be cycling up and down all day long. Fourth, increasing waist size even without major weight gain. Visceral fat can accumulate gradually around the abdomen. These signals don't mean something is wrong with you. They simply mean your body may need more time during the day when insulin is allowed to drop back down. And this leads to one of the most powerful steps many people can start today: creating what we call insulin low windows. In simple terms, this means giving your body periods of time when you're not eating, so insulin can return to baseline. One of the biggest habits keeping insulin elevated all day is constant snacking. Breakfast, snack. Lunch, snack. Dinner, snack. From morning until late evening, insulin rarely gets a break. So one of the simplest strategies is this. Start by removing snacks between meals. Eat a satisfying breakfast. Then allow several hours before the next meal. Let your body fully process that meal and allow insulin to come back down. Another helpful strategy is finishing dinner earlier in the evening. Many people eat dinner at 8 or 9 p.m., then go to bed soon after. But when you finish eating earlier, your body has several hours overnight where insulin can stay low. Think of that time as metabolic reset time. Your body gets the chance to rebalance hormones that affect blood pressure. A third strategy is compressing your eating window. Instead of eating across 15 or 16 hours of the day, many people benefit from eating within a 10 to 12 hour window. For example, eating between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., or 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. This naturally creates longer periods overnight when insulin can drop. Over time, those insulin-low periods help restore the body's natural balance. Kidneys release sodium more effectively. Blood vessels relax more easily. The nervous system becomes calmer. And for many people, blood pressure begins to improve. Of course, some people will still need medication, and medication can be life-saving. But understanding these deeper signals gives you more control over your health, because high blood pressure is not simply about salt. It's about the signals that control how your body handles salt, stress, and blood vessel function. And once you understand those signals, you can start working with your body instead of feeling like it's working against you. Your body is constantly communicating with you, through hormones, through energy levels, through subtle changes long before disease develops. When you learn to recognize those signals, you gain the power to change the outcome. And sometimes the most powerful changes are not extreme diets or complicated routines. Sometimes they are simple shifts that give your body time to reset. Because when the internal signals begin to calm down, your blood vessels relax, your kidneys rebalance, and your heart no longer has to push as hard. Your body wants to protect you. And when you understand how it works, you can help it do exactly that. And there you have it. Remember, knowledge is power, and you have the power to make informed choices for your health. Thank you for watching.